Welcome to Crawlspace Encounters. Got another one here. So check this out. If you're new to the channel, I get up in crawl spaces, do home inspections, and tell you why I hate crawl spaces. So hit that like, share, and subscribe, guys. This one, it's another crawl space, so I'm gonna find a bunch of stuff that justifies my my taste for this. But anyway, we're gonna check this out. But I do want to show you real quick. So you can see the hill. It's just kind of working its way down right into the home right there. We definitely had a little rain last night, so we're gonna find out what this crawl space is about. But you can see that hill, goodness, that starts all the way up there, works its way down here. So I'm expected to see probably some water in the crawl space. But there's a horse down there. Check, this is a beautiful part of town. Absolutely wonderful. But we have another house here that needs an inspection. But all I do is I pick on these crawl spaces and tell you exactly why I will never live in a crawl space home. And if you see all my videos, that's the proof in the pudding. Anyway, let's dive into this one. You can see there's a crawl space door, and now we're actually at the back of the house. See, that's where there's a creek. So naturally, these houses are built right in the pathway of water finding its way down to this creek. And so for us to not really find moisture in a crawl space, that's kind of hard. So we're gonna find out how much, but like I said, we did have a little rain, so we'll put that in into the equation. I'll see you down there. All right, well, here we go. Let's get this light on. Hey, Tom. So this is a manufactured home. Wow. All right, I don't know what to expect down here. So let me grab my other flashlight. Sometimes you get a wild animal down here. That's the last thing you want to encounter. I got some water right here. I mean, you kind of expect it, because these bricks right here, they're not designed to hold back any kind of water. You can see a little bit of water buildup. So on these manufactured homes, they're like, they spray this white stuff on there, on these piers. But these piers are not, they're not solid. So with manufactured homes, believe it or not, the only wood for the most part that you can see are the shims. But in this part of, I guess, a state, you do not have to pre-treat the ground before you put these manufactured homes down for termites. So I do find a lot of termites in these homes. So we're gonna find out. Do already have some standing water there. But I want to see this mess over here. Oh man, they got this old school piping. I keep forgetting the name of them. If you guys remember the name, hit me up in that comment section. You just look at this pipe. I'm surprised I'm not breaking that pipe just staring at it, but that pipe busts so easy. I've already seen a bunch of customers having to replace their plumbing. And every time I look at the plumbing, it's that pipe right there. I looked it up one time. Polybutylene. Polly wants a cracker. I don't know what it is. So here you go. Here's a repair. They went with the new stuff. Put a shark bite. And there's the old stuff. Right there. So they had a plumbing problem. That explains why they cut the bottom part, that lining on the bottom of the home, just to do this repair. Vanguard. Oh God, I just don't want to say the name because I'm gonna butcher it, but you can tell that this already had a plumbing problem. And of course we're gonna find some plumbing debris. I mean, these contractors, look at this. They just leave a mess here. At least if you just clean it up. Get that debris. You guys know how I feel about that. But look at that. There's termite mud tubes right there. Definitely clay from termites. Huh. Got a spider web on my lens. So obviously we crawled to the front portion of the home. We see some water, some plumbing work. I would have, as a plumber, maybe they did recommend a complete repipe here. That's some more termites. There's some termite mud tubes. The problem with these piers is they're not poured solid. They do not pour these cells with concrete, even though there's still a chance for termites to come in. Look at that. Wow. So they end up eating their shims. And this is all metal, man. This is I'm gonna guess that those shims play a major role here. Here we go, man. That termite spread out pretty good. Well, you can see how it's. Look at that. There's a mud tube right there coming up. You can see. I don't know if you guys can see right there. That's all hollow. So these termites come up, work their way up, eat up on these shims. Obviously, there weren't any kind of treated material, but I've seen them where they actually came up through here, worked their way up, chewed through the underside of this, and worked their way up into the home. Little creek marks right here from water intrusion. Now we had some rain, but it's been dry for a long, long time. So I don't think we had enough rain to really go too crazy underneath these houses. But you can see that rainwater has definitely moved a little bit of the dirt from the foundation of that pier. Man, I'll tell you what. It's been a while since I put out a video, so thank you guys for your patience. I was putting out a lot of videos there for a little while, so I was hoping that I can squeeze one in this week. God, I'm crawling over this stuff here. Let's get on this other side. I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys. Hit that like and subscribe so you can see all my content. Helps the channel out a great deal. Helps the algorithm move this video around so other people can see exactly what I see in Crawlspaces. A little out of breath. I've had a chest virus. So I'm feeling out of breath every day a little bit. But definitely better. So this is like the deck. It's got a roof, but it's a deck. So if that rainwater comes in sideways, it comes in here. That's definitely not what you want. I know when we design these houses and add on to these homes and all that, we definitely have to make sure that these crawl spaces are taken care of. So here's more of the deck. You can see the daylight. Man, it's messy down here. You can tell people have done quite a bit of work. So here's the side of the house where it's got a huge porch. Even though it's under roof, you can see how the water just all lands right in there. I do see some animals scat. Folks, this is exactly why I just have a hard time buying a crawlspace home. And I've seen some beautiful homes, good price, some land. I just don't want a crawlspace home. If I did, I would have to really go the extra mile to doing it up. I've got some videos out there of some really cool crawl spaces. I think on my titles I've even specified that they were really cool crawl spaces. But these are all single layer bricks. See how the water just comes right down those bricks and just sits at the foundation. Let me get this giant spider web out of the way. Look at that. Just comes in and just rests right on the foundation. And that does not pass inspection. They want something done. They don't want water resting on the foundation at all. In this case, believe it or not, you do have this lining here protecting your joist and all that jazz from getting mold and fungus. So you do have things protecting it in these manufactured homes. Somebody left their soft drink. But the only thing I really don't like about this is when the critters get in here. Man, what a nest site. They have an amazing place to nest. So basically spun around. So the air conditioning unit is actually outside. You can see, I can see some daylight. So the critters like to come in, find their way, and that's probably the reason why all that insulation's peeled off. Possums, smaller possums and raccoons, Definitely rodents. You can see some scat right there. That's a bigger animal there. And they come down here. And they chill out. I see a lot of times where this is the anchor for the home. That's crazy. Yikes. Hey, real quick, folks. Watching the news, man. Send a prayer out to the folks over in Jamaica. They're about to get nailed with a huge Category 5 hurricane. I pray that these folks find a place of shelter. Category 5 storm. I've been through one of those. Hurricane Andrew in Florida. That wasn't an island like Jamaica. So like I said, pray for them folks. We'll find out what's going on, but it ain't looking too good. So we basically circled around. There is one area I want to look. So far, folks, we got termites, moisture. Definitely a dirty crawl space. I have a feeling all these areas where you see this insulation tore up coming out, I have a feeling that's where all those plumbing pipes broke. Like I said, I can't tell you how many times I've just literally tapped one of those pipes and they break. Ain't like great. I'm not sure if there was a class action lawsuit against that company. But they sure did. Every house that has those, you see right here, I guarantee you they had some plumbing issues. Look at that. This is part of their subfloor. So they probably had a massive leak. Okay, let me get in a better position. Yeah, could have had a massive leak. Here's that pipe right here. Look at that. Just looking at it. Oh, a drop right there. Boop. My God. What did I tell you guys? It's always something. And that pipe can bust. And you're upstairs in your home. You have no idea that thing is leaking. There's some more poop. You have no idea that thing is leaking. And I know you guys are going to probably say in the comments, yeah, slab houses, they get up in the drywall, you got to cut the drywall and do all this other stuff. I do agree. But my whole main thing about Crawlspaces is the fact that all your ductwork is down here. You're breathing in a lot of this stuff. Look at that. That is an absolute giant pile of turd. All that over there too. So these animals come in here. They hide out. They poop and pee all over the place. They scratch up the insulation. They scratch up the duct lines. So I'm trying to figure out whether this is all from... I don't see any plumbing repairs. But you can see that there's different color insulation down here. So they definitely They were definitely doing some work here for sure. And guys, if you own a Crawlspace home, I'm not ragging on you. This is just things you gotta look out for. Always things you gotta look out for. Like I said, I have probably 400 videos of crawl spaces. Some that'll just blow your mind. And some that you're like, all right, well, this is pretty cool. But the ones that are really cool, people spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So in this case, I'm definitely going to recommend a drainage system, termite treatment. Yeah, I can't really say much of a clean out, but the pictures alone definitely clean out. Maybe some animal control underneath that air conditioning system where those duct lines are coming in. But definitely get up all this construction debris. Look at that. These contractors come in. They knock down the drywall. And I also got videos of when contractors have come in and broken out some wood and left them down there for years. And the termites, the subterranean termites come up, find that wood that they left behind, and then decide to start investigating the rest of the house. And because of that wood that was thrown on the ground, we had an infestation. Crazy. Yeah, look, here you go. Here's another. They put another connection right there and put a new water line. So these pipes have been getting busted throughout the years. And they just kept fixing little pieces here and little pieces there. And I get it. You're going to have to rip out the whole underlining of this to do a whole repipe job. Is that something you want to do? Probably not, but there's a big old snake skin hanging out over there. Look at that thing. Oof. Oh yeah, and the snakes. Snakes get up in here in that insulation. Oh man, that is just a wonderful spot for them to spend the winter. Wow, nice and warm. Nobody comes down here. Folks, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this one here. And I appreciate what you guys do once again. I think it's tonight. Jamaica should be getting nailed with that hurricane. Pray for these folks. No casualties. Quick recovery. But I'll see you soon in the next one. Take care.